Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I am just going to do a super quick sound check, which we have to do. And I'm going to put on a little lip gloss. My lips are dry. Let's wait just a second. See if anybody will join us today. Okay. I think we're here. Anybody who's here with me? Let me just mute my volume really quick so that I can see the comments. I'm hoping people will join today because I actually have some things to talk about that I would love your comments on. So obviously Fran's not here, which I know you were all sad about. We all love to see Fran, right? So she is at a shop hop meeting. So believe it or not, they get together super quick after. They figure out who all the winners are. So we should be able to contact you if you're a winner from our store very shortly. And then they honestly start working on next year. It's crazy how long it takes to planning and getting ready and preparing. So we hope that some of you got to join us for Shop Hop, and we had a really fun time. I was going to try and run some numbers to find out how many patterns and stuff we passed out, but I didn't have it all here with me at home. So I hope you got to come. If you got to come, comment. Let us know what your favorite part was. I love getting to visit the different stores and getting to go to stores that I don't get to go to very often. Most of the time, we have some that I just go to at Shop Hop just because they're far away from me. But getting together with my friends and family to go shop hopping is one of my very favorites. So that's where Fran is today. But we really did. We just had a fabulous time for Shop Hop. So, okay. But today is National UFO Day. And I think technically it's the UFO, like alien abduction UFO. But we as quilters like to turn that into something else, right? Or crafters. UFO meaning unfinished objects. So I kind of wanted to talk about UFOs today and get your opinions and see if you had any ideas. So I'm going to share some of the ideas that I had for tackling UFOs. Isn't that interesting that we call it tackling? Like, we're going to like take it out like in football, but you just got to figure out a plan of attack, right? So please, if you have any comments about UFOs, let me know. I do have someone joining, but I can't see who it is. Let me see. It says I've got a viewer. Oh, you know what? It's myself. Because I have it pulled up on my computer. That's funny. So no one is really joining. I'm just talking to myself at the moment, but hopefully some of you will rewatch this. So, okay. So I wanted to show you some things that I do to tackle UFOs. Now, first of all, I know some people, well, let's just talk about it for a minute. Different people have different plans of attack of how they like to start projects, how they like to finish them. And I do not think there's a right answer. Okay? So you do what works for you, what helps you find joy, what helps you get things accomplished. Like, you do what works for you. So some people could only work on one project at a time. And I actually really admire that. I think that's really cool. I love that people can start a project and finish a project. I am not one of those people. So I oftentimes have several projects going on at a time. Now, that part of that's for a couple of reasons, because I do like Second Saturday. And Second Saturday is not something I can finish. So, I that's something I know will go on for 9, 10, probably even 12 months by the time I actually get it completed. So I also am doing a block of the month that I'm having shipped to me. So I know that that's something that's just, I just kind of need to keep up on. Oh, Pam, someone joined. Pam joined with me. I'm glad. Pam, we're talking about UFOs. Oh, and there's Aaron. Oh, good. Now I'm not talking to myself anymore. We're talking about UFOs today. Today's National UFO Day. And I think it really does technically mean like alien abduction UFOs, but we're going to turn that into UFOs and quilting. So, then I think I've told you guys before, my mom and my aunt and I do kind of like our own block of the month thing. We're actually just finishing one, but we started it last October, I think, maybe September. And we're just finishing the quilt. So, those ones I know will not get finished as well. So, I have some of those projects that I just know are going to be long-term UFOs. I also have another project I'm working on with another friend. We rarely have time to get together and sew, but we only work on it together. And so, anyway. So, I have this notebook. And I've had this notebook in my sewing room for quite a while. And I love it because it's got different sections. It's got a lined section, it's got a graph section, and then it's got a blank paper section. So depending on if I'm just writing a list, if I need to map out a quilt. Good morning, Ambiel. I'm glad you're joining. If I need to draw something out, sometimes I'll jump over into my blank section. So having a notebook, I take this to classes, I take this to retreats, I take this everywhere. And I have in here, and I've got it tabbed with just a little post-it note, just my current kind of UFO list, okay? So as I go through things, I just kind of keep a little list. Because I am the kind of person that's kind of out of sight, out of mind. If something's kind of not where I can see it very easily, then I will actually forget it exists. It's a very cool talent that I have. So having it written down really, really helps. So a notebook I think is good. And I love this because I have had this for a couple of years, and so I can go back and I can look at notes I've made for previous quilts or previous projects that I've done, and I can have a lot of information. So I will be sad when I actually fill this up and have to move on to a different notebook. But I can always keep this one handy as well. Okay, another way I kind of track my UFOs is project boxes. So you'll see this one is labeled Second Saturday, 2023-2024. And so I have a project box for everything that I'm currently working on. Now I have kits that I haven't cut into, I haven't started. They're just in my closet. And those ones do not have a project box. But anything that I'm currently working on, I have a project box. And then I have a shelf where I keep all my project boxes. So I can see that actually from my sewing room, from my sewing machine. So I can look up there and say, okay, what's going on with that project? And I just kind of do like a little mental checklist with all of my project boxes. And then it's kind of exciting when I finish a project and the project box can be kind of dismantled. So I'll put the pattern away. I keep patterns in a binder, and I have different binders of patterns. I have binders with projects I've completed and done, and I have a binder for like wish list. And so, because I am not one to really remake the same pattern very often. I definitely have a couple that I will, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of like my trophy binder of patterns that I've done. I'll put the scraps away, and then the project box is available for the next project. So, good morning, Sarah. How are you? So project boxes are another, I think, good way to keep track of what you're going. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 project boxes at the moment. So that's what I'm saying. I have several projects going. And then if I need to take them to a class or I need to take them to a retreat, it's really easy to just take this. And I really try to keep everything I possibly can in this project box, including the scraps, if I've already cut it out, as long as it'll fit. I do have some that are like double this height, and so sometimes if it's a big quilt, I'll use that one. But then if I make a mistake in cutting or make a mistake in sewing or something and I need more fabric, it's all just right here. So this is my Second Saturday one. I've got all the patterns in here. Sometimes I'll, for Second Saturday, have a binder with my patterns, but I kind of stopped doing that and I just keep them all in this box and it worked great for me. So again, there are no right answers here. So anybody who's watching, if you have any tips of how you tackle your UFOs, please comment. I would love to share them with everybody. And so we can all learn from each other, because I'm not the expert by any means. But I wanted to show you, so I haven't watched her in a while, but there's a YouTuber, my son likes to call them, a lady who creates videos on YouTube, and I don't even know her real name, but the YouTube channel is Quilt Roadies, and she's a really fun person to watch. She's so just mellow but exciting, and she's just, I don't know, she's really fun to watch. She does a lot of beautiful wool projects. She does a lot of beautiful quilts as well, but her and her husband travel around and they'll go visit different quilt shops. They did come visit Village Dry Goods a while ago. Oh, Mary Kate, good to hear others have UFOs. Yes. Absolutely, yes. And that's the other thing, is we'll kind of commiserate with each other, right? But Quilt Roadies, she has a gorgeous sewing room, and she's got it very well organized. My sewing room is a disaster at the moment. I'm trying strategically to not show you because my life has been crazy. And my kids also come up here and they're with me, and so there's perler beads at the moment all over my sewing room because they like to be up here with me, which I do love. One day I will be bored all by myself in my sewing room. But Pam Davis, my guild has a UFO contest and I can get 9 or 10 things done if they are on the list. Mostly I'm a topper. Meaning you just get the tops done, right? Is that what you mean? Tell me if I've understood that correctly. So let's go back to Quilt Roadies. She has a small whiteboard in her sewing room, and it hangs on her wall. This did hang in my wall in my previous house, and I've actually never hung this in this house. Yes, Pam. Okay, very cool. But I love this idea, and I actually want to start it again. So she keeps track on her whiteboard of everything for the month. So she'll sit down at the beginning. It's not too far into May. You could do it. You could write down any block of the months that you have, any goals that you need to finish, any, like a baby quilt that has to be done, or a wedding quilt, or something for a gift that you need to get done. Anyway, kind of make a little list of goals, and she has it, I can't remember exactly where she hangs it in her sewing room. It's pretty close to her sewing machine if I remember. And then she can just kind of check things off as she goes. I love this idea. So I'm actually going to start this again. And I need to find a place of where I want to hang this in my sewing room. But then you're kind of just making like small goals, like, just for that month of things that you can accomplish. And maybe you don't get everything accomplished, but you can, kind of cross things off. So I love this idea. I think I got this at Walmart for a couple bucks, and I'm pretty sure you could get something very similar at the used to be a dollar store. So there's this idea. Okay. And then super similar, Pam, to what you're describing. And I know, some of the ladies at our store, they belong to a guild and they do something similar. I can't remember all the details about it, but they do something where they put in, and Bill, yeah, I actually really like it. But you have that beautiful whiteboard in your sewing room you can already use, but I love it. So anyways, guilds do some things like this, but one of the things that I found when I was looking around is American Patchwork and Quilting, which they do podcasts, they do magazines, they have blogs, they have all sorts of things. But let me see if I can get my thing to work. They started a UFO challenge in December of 2023, but you could start this at any time. But they have a UFO tracker you can download, and I will post this link in the comments. Actually, you know what? I can do it right now. I will post this link in the comments right now. So they do a UFO challenge, and you sit down, and they did it in December, so you would do it for all of 2024, but there is zero reason why you have to do it in December. You could totally start it right now. And you could, so you write down 12 projects on this UFO tracker. And then at the beginning of every month, you draw a number out of a hat, or I guess you could really pick it. There's no rules in any way you look at it. And if you draw number 6, you go to your list and look at number 6, and that's what you work on for that month. And then at the end of that month, wherever you're at with that UFO, you stop, and then you pick a new number and you work on the next one. So in a way, it could get you motivated. Oh, for May, my number was number 6, and I really want to get this done. So you hurry in May so you can finish it in May. And then in June, you pick another one. Or you could just be like, you know what? I'm done working on this project for a little while. I'm ready for June to come and pick my new number and work on that. But I actually really, really loved this idea. So do that. And you can check that out. And so I posted that UFO tracker. They have a thing where you can like post it on Facebook and all that stuff. I probably honestly wouldn't do that. I would just kind of do it myself. But I think another fun thing to do would be get with a couple of your close friends, your close quilting friends, and just do it with each other. Help motivate each other, you know, maybe do a little show and tell with each other every month, show what you accomplished. And I think I'd be more motivated personally by that than posting something on Facebook. So, oh, did I do that? Instagram has these things where if you, yeah. Do you guys see those bubbles? So they have different things that show up. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and then there's this one, I think. I can't remember what that one does. I think that's just thumbs down. Anyway, fun stuff, huh? My son loves these things, so he will be very excited that I did them. Okay, and then I am like Pam, where a lot of times, because I don't have a long arm, and I don't love to free motion on my domestic machine, I oftentimes get my tops done, and then that, to me, is considered finished. The problem with that is I do have some smaller projects that I could do myself, finish quilting myself, and I don't, and they are in a pile over in my corner. And so I do need to add those to a list so that I don't forget about them. Because again, remember, I'm kind of out of sight, out of mind. So, anybody else have any other comments about UFOs? UFOs, I think, are just a fact of quilting. They're just going to happen for all sorts of different reasons. Like I said, they're going to happen because you are part of Block of the Month, or you're doing a challenge with friends, or whatever. So, that's okay. But if you never finish anything and you just start things, then I do think that's where the problem comes into play, right? Because we do want to finish things. We do want to have stuff completed. And, you know, I know that when I die, I will probably have UFOs, right? Because I hope that to be quilting until the day I die. But I don't want to leave someone with just tons of unfinished stuff and them not have anything that I've ever finished. So that's honestly the mentality that I have. Maybe that's crazy, but that's the mentality I have. So, and it looks like Annette joined us. Hi, Annette. How are you? Okay. So I'm not seeing any comments about any other UFO suggestions. So I've just got a few more things to talk about, but if you have any other UFO suggestions, let me know. So I also wanted to tell you about a few classes that we have happening next week. One of them is really unique. So Lynn, I don't know if you know Lynn, he is the one man that we have that works at Village Dry Goods. He is amazingly talented. Amazingly talented. And he is teaching a class called Pattern Transformations. This class is next Thursday. I want to tell you the right time. It's next Thursday, the 16th at 10 o'clock. And this class, I don't believe that you need to, like, bring anything. Just bring a notebook and a paper. And he's going to teach you how to take patterns and transform them into faster methods that you like better, and just kind of be able to rewrite patterns, which is something that I do, but it's taken me a long time to learn how to do them. It's taken me taking classes from a lot of different people and learning how to do all of that. So I think this is a fabulous class. You are not going to have an unfinished project at the end of this. It's just going to be a great, like, kind of classroom learning opportunity. So that class is next Thursday at 10 o'clock, and let me see how long the class is. It's 2 hours. So just come to store and learn. So there's still space in that class, so sign up and you can be ready for that. Okay, the next class is a 2-part class, and the first part is next Thursday as well. It's in the afternoon, and let me go back to find the time on that. It's at 1 o'clock. And it goes from 1 to 3. It's the next 2 Thursdays. So the 16th and the 23rd. Not this Thursday, but the next 2. 16th and the 23rd from 1 to 3. And this class is going to be with Fran. And she is going to teach you, it's called a Pack It Up bag. And she's going to teach you kind of a braid method of making this braided fabric look. And then she puts it into a bag. But it's a fabulous technique to be able to use on borders, to be able to put in bags, to be able to put in all sorts of different places. Fran used it on her shoes that she made. So I'm hoping that she will show you that. So anyway, that's a super fun class. The first part, she teaches you the braid technique, teaches you all of that. And then the second class is where you come together and you put the bag together. So that's coming up next week. So go check out our calendar. If you go to villagedrygoods.com and click on classes, you can see all of our upcoming classes. And if you click on calendar, you can see where they fall on the month in a little bit different format. Obviously, the classes show you the dates as well. But sometimes if you're looking at the calendar version, it helps my brain put it all together. So that's a quick and easy way to just check and see what we've got coming up. And so you can see if there's anything that you'd like to take. So I wanted to bring those up. And let's see. I don't have any other comments. I think I've probably chattered on enough. But I hope that you guys can get some UFOs tackled or figure out a new way of kind of organizing them in your brain so you can get some things accomplished. And there is a lot of endorphins that we get when we start a new project, which is why sometimes we end up with UFOs, because those endorphins wear off in the middle of the project, and then we're like, oh, maybe I don't like this anymore. And but also I get endorphins as well when I finish a project. So that gets me motivated. And I also get excited as I'm finishing a project to think about what I get to start next. Because if I have an empty project box, that means I get to start something new. So that's kind of fun. But also, let's comment for just a minute that you don't have to finish every project. If you are doing a project and you're like, this isn't the way I thought it was going to work out, I don't like the fabrics, I'm not happy with something, it's okay if that project doesn't get finished. You can either repurpose it into something else, You can donate it. Guilds are a fabulous place to donate projects to maybe new quilters. You can do different things. My mom recently went through some really old kits that she had, and she thought, you know, I'm never going to be able to finish these projects, or I don't want to. Maybe I don't like the patterns anymore, or I don't like something. And she just took all the fabric out of those kits, and now she's using the fabric for different things. So that's okay too. Just because you bought a kit doesn't mean you have to do that particular project with it anymore. So, Mary Kate, is that what you're glad to hear, that you don't have to finish things? So, you know, move things on, because quilting is supposed to bring us joy, right? If we are stuck doing a project that we absolutely hate and it is just sucking the joy out of it, then maybe that project doesn't need to be completed. Now, I will tell you, I have had a few projects that I don't love, and I have been able to power through, and maybe I just don't keep it. Or, you know, I go ahead and keep it and I think, oh, this will be a good picnic quilt, or this will be a good quilt in my trailer, or, you know, something like that. And I've been proud of myself for doing that too. So that's just kind of a personal decision you have to make, is, do I need to finish this, or is this okay if this moves on, you know? So I did hear about a secondhand store in Utah County. I would like to go. I've not been there. It's a little bit far away from my house, but it's like a thrift store specifically for crafting supplies. So I thought that would be kind of a cool place to take some things that I don't want or need anymore, and they might go to someone who specifically really could use them. So that's an option. Give it to a new quilter, give it to a friend. You know, there's lots of different ways of moving things on if it doesn't bring you joy anymore. So you can definitely do that. Or just find a new way to use the fabric if you still love the fabric. So, okay, awesome. I need to be done chatting. But I hope you guys have learned something today. And please keep continuing to comment on this video if you watch it later. And people can still learn from your ideas and comments. But happy UFO Day, and happy May 7th. The weather here is crazy. My mom put it the best. I wish I wrote it down, what she said. May rain, may snow, may hail, may be hot, may be cold, may be whatever. So that's what May is for us. And it is a perfect day for me to sew in my sweats and my slippers and be inside and not have to go out in the crazy weather. We have a freeze warning tonight. We have had a lot of earthquakes near my house the last several days. I have missed every single one of them, but so they're not been too big, but my family's felt them. I just haven't felt them. So May is turning out to be a little bit crazy, but I'm going to get some sewing done for sure. So have a great day. Remember the 5-10 rule. Be nice to yourself. Be kind. Give yourself a little bit of grace, and just hopefully you can have a happy sewing day. Goodbye, everybody.